Hi, welcome to this brand new series of Kubernetes basics. So in my previous series on Kubernetes essentials, what I essentially did was setting up of the Kubernetes cluster. And I also explained only certain relevant concepts, like what is a container, what is a pod, and Docker, a little bit about Docker as well, and deployment also, just so that you understand those terminologies when I'm setting up the cluster. This is a course more about getting the basics of Kubernetes, like what exactly is a pod, what exactly is a container, replica set, deployment, and all those kind of things. Now, as I always do, and also you're right to do right there in the beginning, is to set up the goals of what we are going to do. Here is my table of contents sheet, which is going to keep developing over a period of time. So the first thing is doing the goal setting. So what are we going to do in this series? We are going to learn about containers, the concept of the containers. We'll get introduced to Kubernetes. What is a Kubernetes and why it is needed? Now, since this course is going to be having a lot of hands-on exercises, we need to have some kind of setup. You already would have a setup on DigitalOcean from a Kubernetes Essentials series, also the kubeadmin part. I'm also coming up with a new series on doing the same kind of setup on using kubeadmin on VirtualBox. But I think for the purpose of running the examples and learning the concepts, Minikube is the best option, right? So Minikube is a one machine Kubernetes all-in-one setup. So we are going to do setup on Minikube. So I have created a document for that. That you can use it irrespective of whichever environment you are running. So if you're running Mac OS, then also it's fine. Windows also, it's fine. In fact, it's a lot more easier in Mac OS. So we will do that. And then we are going to get into the details of understanding these core components of Kubernetes, like, what is a pod, what is a replica set, deployment services, etc., etc. Now, the last point to note over here is that this series is going to be having an equal measure of concepts, the fundamental concepts, as well as lots and lots of hands-on exercises. Probably what I'll do is I'll set up a Git repository in which I'll put all the YAMLs, right? All the code, I should say. You might not know what the YAMLs are at this point of time. You just need to clone it and run it from from there. So that should be pretty much it about this video. We'll get started with the actual content in the next video. See you then. Thank you.